Yo guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to be talking about more BO4 cut content. If you enjoy, please like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. So first, we're going to talk about the campaign, or lack thereof. Obviously BO4 didn't have a campaign, but at least according to Treyarch, there was never a campaign planned, but we know there was actually two cut campaigns. The first one is a career mode, which would have been a 2v2 multiplayer campaign, which would have had you pick between the Free People's Army and the World United Nations. They would have different objectives while fighting AA over the whole world. This was cut in about February 2018 and was replaced by Blackout. We have Specialist War Stories, which were started right after the career mode's cancellation. They made numerous missions in about a month's time span. The two missions we know of is Outback Roadhouse, which was set in Australia, which would feature battery raiding a caravan that had Torque hostage inside. And we also have Vengeance, which would have been Evolved Seraphim and would have taken place in Singapore. There was a cut specialist HQ mission called Breaker, which would be a hostage rescue type mission on the map Seaside. And there was something called onboarding missions, which are kind of like today's specialist HQ missions, but they would have more specific objectives to do. The mode is narrated by Savannah Mason. Zombies now. Well, we have 5 cut maps, 3 for the Chaos timeline and 2 for the Ether timeline. First, we have Blue, which was a Chaos map that has a Earth throne room, a waterfall, and a wooden door frame. That's literally it. Second, we have Morocco, which was meant to launch with DLC 2 for the Chaos timeline. It was released after Dead of the Night, but it was probably cut prior to launch. Finally, for the Chaos timeline, we also have a map called Russia, which would have came out after Morocco, also probably cut prior to launch. The first Ether map was Origins from BO2 and Transit, which is also from BO2. There are 2 cut game modes for zombies in the form of Grief from BO2 and Treyarch Custom Mutations, which would have been a series of game modes which would have had some different custom mutations on certain maps. There was a feature called Factions that was cut. What this would allow you to do is earn seasonal rewards like cosmetics on calling cards for your faction. It was replaced by Zombies daily contracts. I remember this explicitly because I remember there was some guy around the time this actually got confirmed to have been cut, who I'm not going to name, but it's quite embarrassing. He essentially made a video suggesting that someone should sue Activision or Treyarch over the fact that they didn't release factions. Yeah, it's kind of stupid, really. Right, Newton's cookbook was cut, which would have allowed you to craft elixirs. Besides this, we don't really know how this would have worked, other than the fact that menu placement and code suggests that it's fully functional. There was a cut hero character for the Crusader in a map known only as DLC 4. The texture's outfit suggests that it could have been for the map Origins. There is an enemy known only as the Zombie Boss. As it was made by Activision Shanghai, it was probably an enemy in a DLC map. It was eventually reworked into the Megaton in Black Ops Cold War. In the August 2018 build, there was something called Chaos Points. Now, we don't know what it would have done, but we know it was replaced by bonus. Death Machine was cut, however, I mentioned this in part 1, so I'm going to ask you to watch part 1 after this video, of course. The Wonder Alpha DG2 was also meant to feature in the map tag the Totem. It is basically just the same as the BO3 version with slight upgrades. The ray gun was originally meant to be customizable for zombies. Its description says, a powerful weapon from a different time and universe. There is a riot shield that can still be loaded into the game. When held, its model is original, but when placed on the ground, it's the same model as the assault shield in BO2. There was 3 cut equipment pieces, namely the Molotov, Thermite, and Cluster Grenade. There's 3 cut perks, first Juggernog and Speed Cola, which have been in previous games, so I'm going to assume you know what they do. And they were cut for the same reason, at least according to Jason Blundell anyway. He said that it was removed to get rid of crutch perks. And also there was an early version of the perk Winter's Whale, Widow's Wine. There were 3 cut elixirs in the form of board games, which would have made building barriers faster, Crawl Space, which would turn all nearby zombies into crawlers, and finally there's one called Respin Cycle, which would respin the mystery box. There was 2 cut talismans, one for an extra Molotov and the other for an extra cluster grenade. Essentially all maps have a cut narrative room, which would have been accessible. The last one that had this was Alpha Omega. And the cut room for Blood of the Dead is actually in Alcatraz in Blackout. Finally, we're going to talk about more miscellaneous cut content. I didn't really know where to put any of this, so I'll just mention it all now. So first, we have customizable hats and face paint for your operator, which would have probably been linked to the aforementioned factions. The music player would have returned from BO3. This would have been accessible during gameplay and also in the lobby. There was also meant to be a second Black Ops pass, and there was also meant to be another 6 operations, which were kind of like seasons if you're a newer player, I guess. BO4 was touted as a COD that would have 3 years of support, so into 2021. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and comment down below what I might have missed, and yeah, bye.